You talked about entering public policy uh, as a discipline alongside your peers. Back in 2016, this idea came to your mind, and then you officially entered it back in 2017. So, over the past few years, we've really seen public policy emerge as a discipline, specifically amongst the younger generation. So, why do you think
Right.
there has been this rise in this discipline or this interest, sudden interest in this discipline?
So Gautam, I graduated from law school in 2012, and at that time, when I was studying, public policy was just beginning as a profession. It wasn't really a very uh, organized sector as legal field was and still is, and there was a lot of interest in me to sort of understand what is public policy all about and what is the idea behind policy. And it so happened that I wanted to, when I left law school, I did litigation for a while, and it just didn't cut the mustard for me. And I realized that I wanted to do something broader and something more comprehensive, something with a bigger impact on society. And public policy as a field appealed to me because the idea of public policy is to basically inform the stakeholders and come up with policies for the public, for the community, which helps the society go forward. And that sounded really idealistic to me, and that sounded really sort of, it matched my focus on coming up with guidelines and regulations that can help India usher into the 21st century as a country which protects its citizens' rights and also ensures that we are on a great path of economic growth. And so it happened that I started taking more and more interest in the field, and I worked in a consultancy firm. Then I worked with a bilateral institution as well, and that's where I really sort of understood the nuances of how the ecosystem works. And a lot of the work we do is around informing through evidence-based research. So the the three pillars which I spoke about earlier. Uh, with respect to research and taking the research to the right stakeholders, when we started the dialogue, one of the gaps we saw in the domain was that there was a lot of great research happening, but the important people were not really talking about it or getting to know about it or really reading it. And the outreach and
I'm
the
sorry. I'm sorry to
engagement was
interrupt
a
you
big
over here.
gap.
I'm sorry to interrupt you over here. When you say important people, do you mean the various stakeholders such as the RPI or the various public bodies, the government?
Yeah.
Are those the important people?
Government, bureaucrats, parliamentarians, people who work closely with them, influencers, those who have some say in terms of what should the new vision of India's tech policy or whatever area you're working on should be. And that was the gap we tried to cover, while at the same time making sure that we came up with independent research which had strong database, data-driven ideas, as well as inputs from people who know what they're talking about. I think that was also very crucial for us to be able to sort of compile in a format which was appealable to the stakeholders. And that's how we started doing our consultations, where we invited industry, we invite experts, consultants, activists, researchers, think tankers, bilateral institutions, multilateral institution experts. So all of their voices, combining all of these voices into one piece, and then arriving at a solution, and then giving it to the government, and then continuously completing this loop, right? Coming up with more research ideas and coming up with consultations. And that was the nature of public policy, which sort of we started focusing a lot more on. And now what we are seeing in the last 3-4 years is the establishment of more think tanks in India. First of all, I think there have been more think tanks than before. And second is the fact that a lot more young people in the age of mid 20s or early 30s are taking interest in this space, because I'm seeing that a lot of them want to make a difference in the way this country is functioning. And I think it's very simple. If you want to make a difference, you have to do something about it. And what we were able to do and are trying to do is build this institution which facilitates multiple perspectives and then comes up with ideas that can help the government sort of navigate the path, the very technical and very difficult path of coming up with a policy which caters to public at large. And that's not an easy job. I mean, you have to make a lot of compromises. So it's our job to see what best solutions we can arrive at with the limitations we have with the.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for this episode. The Indianaut podcast is available on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook to receive all updates on the upcoming episodes. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Thank you.